Good morning, everyone. Thank you for waking up with NBC4 today. I'm Matt Barnes.
And I'm Monica Day. Nothing on radar.
Nothing. It's a clear radar sweep in Ohio.
Yes.
Isn't that wonderful to see?
At least, I wish it was clear all over Ohio, though, because it's a little foggy in some spots, isn't it, Bob?
Yeah, I wish it was clear, but yeah, some fog out there this morning. Nothing to show you on live Viper radars. I'll give you the actual temps coming up here in about 10 minutes, Matt and Monica.
All right, Bob. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I hate being in the muggy zone.
Yes, don't we all?
I don't like to feel like 90. We'll just have to deal with it, I guess. Just like some drivers may have to deal with that fog this morning. And it depends really on where you are at this point. Maybe just plan ahead for a few extra minutes because of that low visibility, guys.
Yeah, that can always be an issue.
Yes.
Patty. Well, now to the big story out of Ohio State. Head coach Urban Meyer on paid administrative leave.
This is part of the investigation into allegations of domestic abuse against a former assistant coach. The university decided to put Meyer on leave yesterday evening after a bombshell accusation he knew Zach Smith abused his ex-wife and did not report it. That accusation came from an interview Courtney Smith gave to sports website Stadium. Olivia Fecto will have more on that interview in just a moment, and Hattie is following the reaction from Buckeye Nation. But we begin our team coverage with Matt Edwards. Matt.
Well, and the story originally started to break about 2 weeks ago, and now as more details emerge, new questions do as well. In particular this morning, what did Urban Meyer know about those allegations of domestic abuse in 2015? In a report yesterday from college football veteran reporter Brett McMurphy, it claims that Urban Meyer knew of the alleged domestic abuse in 2015 and shows text messages indicating Urban's wife Shelley was also aware. Now, that story contradicts what Meyer just said last week at Big Ten Media Days in Chicago. Now, listen to the soundbite we're about to play for you. The first person you hear is a reporter from Cleveland.com.
2015 reported incident. Are you saying that you don't know anything about that, or do you believe that that didn't happen?
I can't say it didn't happen because I wasn't there. I was never told about anything. Anything came to light. I never had a conversation about it, so I know nothing about it.
Now, should those texts between Shelley Meyer and Courtney Smith prove to be legitimate, it seems likely that Urban Meyer was aware of these allegations and kept Zach Smith on his staff. Anyways, of course, so many more questions to be answered as Urban Meyer is on paid administrative leave. Our team coverage continues this morning with more on Courtney Smith. We go to Olivia Fecto.
Good morning, Matt. Courtney Smith went into detail describing the abuse she says she suffered at the hands of her ex-husband during an interview with an online sports website called WatchStadium.com. Courtney Smith says she was physically abused by her now ex-husband, Zach Smith, and she says many people were aware of it. First, she says she reached out to her own family and then to his family to tell them what was happening. She says her own family warned her against reporting the violence, saying there could be consequences.
I remember specifically texting pictures to my mom, my dad, his dad, like begging for help, like, this has to stop. This isn't normal. I can't do this anymore. And I was told, don't call the police. If you call the police, he's going to get arrested. It's going to go to the media. He's going to lose his job. What are you and the kids going to do?
Urban Meyer did acknowledge he knew of at least one of Courtney Smith's claims of domestic abuse back in 2009 when he and Smith were coaching in Florida. Coming up at 6:30, we'll hear more from Courtney Smith about what she believes should have been done. Local for you at the Woody Hayes Athletic Center, Olivia Fecto, NBC4.
Olivia, thank you. And that full interview with Courtney Smith can be found on WatchStadium.com. We've made it easy to find. We put a link in our top story on the NBC4i.com homepage. Now, Coach Meyer being put on leave caught a lot of Buckeye fans and former players off guard.
Yeah, Hattie is joining us now with their reactions.
And guys, we heard from several former players online, even more fans who had their opinions over the news that they didn't see coming. Zach Boren saying on Twitter, quote, "This is a Zach and Courtney issue, no one else's. Everyone is trying to bring down the Meyer family and the rest of the Ohio staff program based off of incidents that involve two people at their home. This issue will get settled in court between those two." End of story. Jake Stoneburner saying, quote, "Uh-oh, this is going to get real interesting. I saw a coach get fired fired for way less. It will be very interesting to see what OSU does with Urban Meyer. Stoneburner apparently referencing Jim Tressel's firing back in 2011. And Dontre Wilson says, quote, the Ohio State University will be just fine. The court will handle what needs to be handled, and we will get back to our regularly scheduled program. Praying for my university. Now, fans we spoke with, for the most part, are torn.
An issue like this kind of goes beyond sports. It's not just about football. It's about doing what's right for everyone involved, students, the staff, just holding everybody to a higher standard.
And it's a story that many are going to continue talking about this morning as we do continue to learn more about this story. Matt.
All right, Hattie, thank you. We want to clarify what paid administrative leave means for Meyer. An employee can be put on administrative leave for things like bereavement, military leave, or internal reviews and investigations. Meyer will continue to receive pay and benefits while the university investigates. NBC4 also looked into the terms of Meyer's contract, and he is required to report to the university if any coach under his supervision has violated or is suspected of violating any state, local, or federal laws. There is a full analysis of the terms of his contract on NBC4i.com. You can also download the free NBC4 News apps for access to all of our coverage and breaking news alerts as we follow this story.
Chipotle Mexican Grill now facing a lawsuit after hundreds of people reported getting sick from eating at the Powell location. The Delaware General Health District has received more than 500 complaints about the restaurant on Sawmill Parkway. Ron Simon with the National Food Safety Law Firm, Ron Simon & Associates, has filed the first lawsuit in the possible food poisoning outbreak. He says taking on these cases can be complicated, and the first step is the health department finding out what caused this.
At some point, Chipotle has got to stop doing this, or someone's going to get killed. Our phone is ringing off the hook. We've had six prior outbreaks with Chipotle. I've handled hundreds of cases against this company.
Now, NBC4 reached out to Chipotle Mexican Grill for a response to that lawsuit. The spokesperson sent us this statement. We have been working with local officials to investigate and will continue to do so. We want to talk to customers who believe that they were affected by this incident and ask them to contact us.
New information about the drug overdose that killed the Kirkersville police chief in May. Investigators believe James Hughes Jr. overdosed on drugs taken from his department's evidence room. Detectives say they found fentanyl as well as packages of heroin and LSD in the 35-year-old's home.
Well, a trip to the grocery store is about to get more expensive for your family.
Yeah, coming up when the price of Pampers diapers is expected to go up. But first, we'll have another check of your weather and traffic on this Thursday morning. That is next as NBC4 Today continues.